The views and opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's hosts, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers team in the hope that it will be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's 7 o'clock and time for On the Spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Rodgers. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. All right along there with the Dancing Destroyer, Super Dave Holland. Welcome to the show. No Byron Bagwell tonight. No Austin Stevens. No Mitchell Gunner, as we know he's doing his own thing. But we want to welcome you to the show. After a week worth of hiatus, it is time to bring you another edition of On the Spot with David Rodgers. Tonight's show is brought to you by Miracle Automotive and Towing. And, of course, hey, what's your shop's name again, Dave? I forgot. I drew a blank. Harry Business. Harry Business. Open Monday through Friday. Monday through Saturday, should I say. Yeah. 9 to 5, Dave? 9 to 5?
9 to 5.
9 to 5. Closed on Sundays. Make sure you let Dave and his crew take care of all your hair needs, as like mine has just gotten done. So we're going to start off the show as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. So, ladies and gentlemen, everybody that's tuning in, thank you for joining us. Please bow your heads. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once thank again for a wonderful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for this time that we're allowed to be together, dear Lord, and that we bring this show to all our viewing audience and everybody that tunes in, and the information that we give, that our viewers and everybody that watches, dear Lord, takes that information, disseminates it as they need to see fit, dear Lord. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, the United States of America, dear Lord, the most freest and powerful nation in the country, in the world today, dear Lord. Yes, I know we have our own issues and our own problems, dear Lord, whatever that may be, and you know what that is, dear Lord. Put your hand on our nation and on us, dear Lord, that we can come together as one and fix all the issues and the problems that we have here in this great country. Thank you for the armed forces, each and every one of them, all our armed forces, dear Lord, all those men and women that are out there serving today, serving in an active or inactive capacity, dear Lord, that you put a hedge of protection over them, whether they're abroad or whether they're here in the United States, dear Lord, that we keep a stronghold against the domestic and the international terrorism that is running amok in this great country, dear Lord. Just put your hand over them and this great nation as we try to move forward from all these things that are happening to us. Thank you for the first responders, dear Lord, that we have here in our country, each and every city, county, town, a region, you name it, dear Lord, in the whole United States, that you put a hedge of protection over all those law enforcement officers, all those medical personnel, and everybody that's involved with the first responders, dear Lord, that you just keep a hedge of protection over them and you bring them back home safely to their families. We need them, dear Lord, because they're our safety net as when we go home each and every day, that we can lay our head on our pillow, dear Lord, and that we don't have to worry about anything because we know that they will be there in time of distress or need. Thank you for all the frontline workers in this great country, dear Lord. Everybody that gets up every morning and helps make this great nation grow and thrive. Talking from the truck drivers, the farmers, the railroad workers, the steel workers, the iron workers. Dear Lord, I just can name a bunch of them, but you know who each and every one of them are, and that you put a hedge of protection over them as they go out to work each and every day to earn a living, to make this country great, to strive to make this country great, dear Lord, and that you bring them home back safely to their families. Thank you for the food that we eat and receive each and every day, and that it goes to our nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Thank you again for just letting us wake up another day, dear Lord. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world, dear Lord. Thank us for just letting us be free Free is the key word, dear Lord. Our freedom, the hardest price that had to be paid for this great nation. So please keep us under your hand, dear Lord, and that you just keep, again, making us move forward. Any spoken or unspoken prayer requests, dear Lord, that you touch each and every one of their hearts, dear Lord. You know what they need. You're the ultimate comforter, the ultimate healer, dear Lord. Please touch each and every one of those men and women and children, whoever it may be, dear Lord, that you make everything better again. Again, thank you for the time that we had tonight. Thank you for the time that we've had this week. Thank you for the great Easter weekend. As he has risen, we know he has, especially if you believe in the God above, that the Son, Jesus, rose on Easter Sunday. Thank you again for the great day, for the great week, and the great weekend that you're going to be giving us, dear Lord. We ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ, and the congregation says, amen. All right, let's stand for our pledge, and I'm going to ask Mr. Dave Holland if he would lead us, please, sir.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. All right. Welcome in to On the Spot with David Rodgers, going solo tonight. I hope each and every one of you that are tuning in that we bring you a great show. Going to be a little short show tonight. Not too long, but not too short either. It's going to be just right. Again, I'm the host and creator of On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am David Rodgers himself with a nice-looking haircut that my man right here, our producer, our director, Mr. Dave Holland, gave me the other day. It needed it, Dave. Did you see the floor?
Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
boy. Hey, what did Karen say? Hey, man, we can make a wig out of all that stuff.
That was a lot of hair.
That was a lot of hair. But I want to thank him for taking care of that for me. I want to wish a couple of people a happy birthday. As we got many of them, David in April. I couldn't believe how many we got in April. So I will start off with our co-host that couldn't be here tonight, Mr. Byron Bagwell. His birthday was on the April the 9th. He is working right now. Maybe, just maybe, he can make it, but I doubt that he will actually be here. Mr. Dwight Allen, who always tunes into our show each and every week because he wants to hear what we got to say, and we want to hear what he has to say. His birthday was April the 10th, so that was yesterday. So I want to wish Dwight Allen a happy birthday. And guess what? Whose birthday is it today, David?
I'd say it's probably your birthday.
It is my birthday. Today is April the 11th. It is my birthday. I am actually 35.
Oh, your
Okay.
birthday every other year.
Well, yeah, I could have stopped at 40 and just said, hey, every year after that just doesn't count. But no, it is 61. I am 61, and I tell you, I'm glad I'm just in decent health, David. And, I know as we get older, things gets a little harder each and every day. But I want to thank everybody that wished all of us birthday wishes. Myself, Dwight, and Byron, these past 3 days. Mitchell Gunners is April the 21st. So I want to wish an early birthday, and we'll get to that as we keep doing shows as we get closer there, to Mitchell Gunner, who is the host of On the Spot Motorsports Media page. That is our sister page. Great page, David. Gets into all kinds of things there, from NHRA to NASCAR to Formula One to go-karts. I mean, this guy is really on top of it, so make sure you tune in. He's always got great guests. That's On the Spot Motorsports Media. That show comes on Thursdays at 7 o'clock, and the host is Mitchell Gunner on that. So I want to thank him for doing what he does for that page as well. Shelly Rogers has got a birthday on April the 29th. So, of course, we'll wish her a happy birthday as that time nears. But again, this is all about you guys. Thank you for joining us again on the spot with David Rodgers. I'm David Rodgers, your creator and host, right along with the director and producer, Mr. Dave Hollins, sitting over here. I want to get into a couple of things. Let's go ahead, excuse me, and get into the quote of the week and day. Listen up. Most people do not really want freedom because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. Who is that? I'll give you a little hint. He was an Austrian neurologist and the founder of psychoanalysis. He attended the University of Vienna in 1881 and studied theories of ego, superego, and things like that. David, I'll give you the first guess.
Wow.
Who do you think that may be?
Could I get a general idea? Is he it's a man?
So it is a man. He was an Austrian neurologist and the founder of what we know now as psychoanalysis. He attended the University of Vienna in 1881 and studied theories of superego, egos, things like that.
Oh, man. Gosh.
Yeah, this one is a tough one. Now, I know that Byron has given this one before, or at least a saying from this guy before. You guys that are watching, y'all can take a stab at this too as well. So, yeah, this is a tough one. I was wanting to see.
Right on the tip of my tongue.
Of course it is. I want to see if Dwight Allen gets it. Dwight is usually good with these things. Let me read it again. Most people do not really want freedom because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. He was an Austrian neurologist and the founder of psychoanalysis. He attended the University of Vienna, which is in Austria, right, in 1881, and he studied theories of ego, superego, things like that.
Sigmund Freud?
Wow. Sigmund Freud. That's him. How'd you know that?
Is it?
It is.
He's a psych guy.
Yeah, well, he is the psych guy. So he died in 1939, but that's exactly right. Sigmund Freud. How about that, huh? Wow,
Right
David.
on the tip of my tongue.
Ah, man, no, you did a great job right there. And Shirley got it as well. Freud, she said.
All right,
absolutely. Shirley. So, actually, if you was seeing any of Byron's page today, that was his quote for today. And what a great job Byron does for us when he's here and when he's not working. But Byron, really good with politics, anything nationally, anything worldly. We know that our correspondent, Mr. Byron Bagwell, does a wonderful job right there. So
gives it to us straight.
Gives it to us straight. So I'm going to read a couple of things, if y'all will just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, a couple of local things that are going on. If you have any students at the high school, I'm going to go ahead and give you the report that I usually do on Monday mornings with Chuck Kramer. That's at 7:40, and it's called the All Tornadoes Sports Report and Update. Usually do that at 7:40 with Chuck. I did it with him yesterday, and we went over some things that I want to go over them with you. Congratulations to this month's top tornadoes: Gino Addison, Sanya Thompson, Gavin Murphy, and Kayla Vargas. Thank you for being model students at BHS. Excuse me. Dual enrollment orientation was yesterday from 10 a.m. to noon, so I hope all you students got in there for that. You were supposed to see Mrs. Cumbus and listen out for that. The PERC test for seniors who still need the math concordance score will be today. I hope you took that. You should have had an email from Mrs. Stafford. David, the next blood drive will be Wednesday and Thursday. Sign up. You must do it during an elective period or at lunch if you want to give blood. You know, right now, David, just not our area, but there is a national blood shortage, and they're looking for O positive, mainly, B negative, and O negative, I think, and some A. But I do know that O positive is definitely one of the ones that they're looking for.
Wow.
Mock prom crash will be at 10 a.m. tomorrow at the track. All juniors and seniors will need to attend. Student Government Association elections for the 2023-2024 school year are coming up. All interested students must pick up the guidelines of their petition forms. They are due back on Thursday. Here we go. A free sports clinic is being put on by the Santa Fe College men and women's basketball and volleyball team on April the 22nd. Don't miss this opportunity for you and your kids. All 5th through 12th grade students are welcome, and pizza will be provided. They have sold a record amount of yearbooks, Dave. They only have a few remaining. Purchase yours as soon as possible. You can purchase one by going to yearbookordercenter.com and entering the school code 14547. Enter the school code 14547. The nameplates for those have to be ordered online. Tutoring continues this week. It will be in the library from 3:45 to 4:45 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Today and Thursday, all you have to do is show up and be ready to work. Fellowship of Christian Athletes meets on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 a.m. Please come for free food and fellowship. All students are welcome. Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and Geometry students can access their math textbook by going to ClassLink and clicking on Algebra Nation. If a student is absent or just needs a review, there are teacher videos that teach each lesson when a student is absent. Their makeup work is to be done on the missed lesson online. This curriculum moves at a fast pace, and it is important that students do not fall behind. David, always get questioned on this one. They said reminders. Well, you should know about reminders. We're 3/4 into the school year. We're at the last semester of this school year. But absolutely no food or drinks other than water allowed in the classrooms. Bring a large water bottle to school. No outside food deliveries. Multiple parking violations may result in a citation of your vehicle being towed. Make sure to properly display your parking pass on your rearview mirror. And of course, I know your granddaughter does this daily with her mother and her dad. Students should be checking and reading their school emails on a daily basis for important information that is being sent out. Cheer tryouts, if you, well, first of all, if me and you want to go to a baseball game, we just can't go to the gate and buy one. You have to go to GoFan at the following link, gofan.co, to purchase those tickets. The only other way that you can purchase a ticket at the gate is during football season. So cheer tryouts are started Monday and they run through Thursday. So good luck to all the cheerleaders that will be trying out for next year's cheer squad. The JROTC heads to Lakeland to the state drill meet next Saturday, and I'm going to get into that here in just a second. Baseball, as the season's winding down, plays at home tonight. They got Crescent City on Thursday at Crescent City and back home on Friday. So they're trying to make the districts, Dave, so they can get into regionals and hopefully into the state playoff run.
Go Fan.
Yeah, it's GoFan, one word, .co.
CO.
CO. Yep. So softball is played last night. I do believe they won. Takira Balkin, I think, hit a 3-run homer for that team. And she's going to be going, David, to Florida State College. She's got a, right there in Jacksonville. She's already got a letter of intent. So congratulations to her. And then they play again at home on Friday. So make sure you get out and watch the girls softball team as they try to get into the district race and get a good seeding and into the regionals and maybe make a state playoff run as well. Tennis competes in the district tournament. Started yesterday and today. I don't have those results, but I will get those for you as soon as I can. Your track teams has a meet at Baldwin on Thursday. That starts at 4 o'clock. And David, probably the big surprise of everything is the girls flag football team. Mm-hmm. They're 11-0. First of all, they play at Oakleaf on Wednesday. They're 11-0. They're ranked 19th in the state out of everybody. And those girls, man, they score a lot of points and hardly gives up anything. Do you know what that sounds like? The boys' football team, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So the girls are well on their way. Hopefully they can bring a state championship home in that. Talking about the JROTC, we want to give props when props are due. So last Saturday, April 1st, the Bradford JROTC Tornado Battalion qualified to go to the state drill meet in the following events: platoon armed and unarmed regulation drill, platoon armed exhibition routine, female color guard, and all male and female solo and dual exhibition routine. These JROTC drill cadets head off on Saturday, April 15th to Lakeland, Florida to compete in a state drill meet against other JROTC programs from around Florida. This is the second year in a row, David, Bradford Tornado JROTC drill team has qualified to go to the state drill meet. May 6th and 7th, the drill team will compete in the National All-Service Drill Meet in Daytona, competing with schools from around the world. This is their second year competing in that competition as well. These cadets work very hard to achieve their goals by practicing in the mornings and after school, particularly every school day, and in some cases weekends, David, and during school breaks. If you are interested, this is the important part, if you are interested in helping to support the drill team and the JROTC program at Bradford High School, and middle school donations can be made to the JROTC Tornado Battalion at the high school front office. Donations will be used to offset cost of drill team supplies, additional cadet medals and trophies, uniform cleaning and accessories, transportations, and meal costs at the Drills National. As with all youth programs and programs at the Bradford County Schools, donations are always appreciated and used to provide better opportunities for our students, in the case of JROTC, to assist in making them better citizens and future of our state and country. So, David, they competed at Union County. The Area 1 state qualifier drill competitions results were this. Listen to this. They got first place in the Armed Platoon Exhibition, first place Male Solo Exhibition, first place Male Dual Exhibition, second place Armed Platoon Regulation, second in Armed Female Solo Exhibition, second place in Female Color Guard, second place Female Dual Exhibition, third place Male Solo Exhibition, third place Unarmed Platoon Regulation, and fourth place Female Solo Exhibition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people placed in the top 4, or 10 different things. That is absolutely fantastic.
What an amazing group.
Yes, that is. And let me say something about this, David. Me and you and several of our listeners served our great country. Mm-hmm. With the narratives and things going on today, you would wonder if our armed forces and our services, all of them, the Navy, the Army, the Marine Corps, the Coast Guard, the U.S. National Guard, Air Force, would survive. Because without a draft, without people volunteering, you'd have to have a draft. We have to have our armed forces to protect us, our borders, from what? Invasion of other countries.
Absolutely.
If we didn't have that, David, can you imagine what would happen to this great country, as Byron always describes and as our fans always describe? This would be a national catastrophe. We wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be doing what we're doing. No. I can assure you of that.
No, we wouldn't have time.
No, because they'd have us working somewhere. We'd be taking over. So we have to have our armed forces. And I commend those young men and women that are in ROTC programs, just not here in Bradford County, but all over the state and all over our great United States, because generally, 90 to 95% of them usually join the armed forces, one of the armed forces. And I don't care which one it is, as long as we don't have to bring a draft back. Are we going to have to? Maybe someday. But right now, we've got guys and gals that want to go in and make, whether they go in for 3 years, 4 years, 6 years, make it a career. Hey, the turnover is still good there. So I commend these guys. So if you can help out in any way, and Dave will tell you the same thing, please make a great donation to the JROTC program, you can go right to the front office. You can be anonymous, stroke a check for $10, or give $10 cash, or whatever it may be. Stroke a check for $100. It doesn't matter.
No.
Whatever they get, they will use, as I said, for those things that they need. So congratulations to those guys. David, don't let me forget about Wednesday night at Fun Point. Michael Heater he won't be there this Wednesday. I think Chief Jerry Feltner, the Lottie Police Chief, will be hosting trivia the second time. He said he did a good job the last time. So that's at Fun Point with Jerry Feltner tomorrow at 7 o'clock sharp. They will do trivia. And then on Thursday night, make sure you come out, because we're going to have a special trivia. I think we're going to be celebrating all kinds of birthdays and all kinds of things there. So we will have trivia at the Downtown Grill at 7:30 on Thursday. Make sure you come and join us, man. It's really a fun time. Get you a great meal there. Get you a couple of drinks. We laugh and carry on. But if you can't make Wednesday night trivia, make Thursday night. If you can't make Thursday night, make Wednesday night. If you want to play both, play both.
Who's hosting Thursday night trivia?
Oh, geez. Could it be the birthday boy?
Oh.
That's him. David Rodgers
so.
hosts trivia on Thursday nights, and we always have fun. So make sure you come out to that. So a couple of other things, but I want to acknowledge everybody that's on, David. Roger Cruz, hello, my friend. We'll talk about what we got into this weekend. Dwight Allen, good evening, fellow Patriots, and good evening to you, and happy birthday to you, brother, and thank you for that remark. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the birthday wish. Gail Allen, thank you very much, Miss Gail Allen. I really enjoyed that. Shirley Bagwell says, Rude, she got it. She says, I read his book on dreams. Shirley said that. Huh? How about that? I wonder how that book is, Shirley. Maybe we'll have to tell us a little bit about that. Happy birthday. You were supposed to have a birthday cake. I was. And we were. But, you know, David, I got thinking about it. Donnie called me on the way here. Shirley called me. Yeah. She was finishing the touches on it. And, yeah. So, I really, because I love all my brothers, and I love Byron, and I love Dwight, I didn't want to do it without Byron here. You agree?
I agree.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it without Byron here. I know today was my birthday, but we got successive birthdays in succession, and I really wanted to celebrate it with all those guys. So we're going to try it for Thursday. Hopefully Byron can show up. I know you're going to show up. Hopefully maybe Dwight Allen can stop by for a few minutes and check us out, and we'll have a nice little celebration there with the rest of the trivia teams.
That's what's important about having a cake, is with the celebration.
Correct.
Right now, I mean, it's
okay.
It's a celebration, but
sure,
not that kind of a celebration tonight.
No, and that's exactly right. And I want to celebrate it with my brothers. The model, Sharon Pettiprin, hello, good evening, and thank you so much. Happy birthday, David. You are the best. No, you're the best. And why are you the best? Because you tune into this show On the Spot with David Rodgers each and every week. You are a great fan. You're a top fan. And we really appreciate you guys tuning in. And I want to take just a minute to talk about that a little bit, David, because me and you have really been putting our heads together and having some things that, some ideas and some thoughts that we've got coming up on how we want to enhance the show. And one of the things that we come up with, I think you're going to really enjoy. It's in the works. We got to get some things finalized and put together. Hopefully here within the next couple of months. I'm hoping that maybe sooner. Who knows? Depends how me and Dave work here. We're going to have a really big surprise for you. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to say what it is right now. I'm excited as well. So this is going to just enhance the show. It's going to get you guys involved. A chance to maybe win something. I'll just leave it at that. So make sure you tune in. We got bigger and better things. So if you're not a fan of On the Spot with David Rodgers, you can be. All you got to do is go to Facebook. Bam. Search On the Spot with David Rodgers. It'll come up with the logo. Dave, you got the logo down there, right? It says OTS. So just go there, open up the page, scroll down, hit the like button, and as soon as we air, no matter what it is, David, it don't have to be a regular show. It could be a special event, which we did this past Saturday, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. But anytime that we're doing something, OTS is doing something, it'll ping you, boom, tune in. Even if you don't like what we're doing, at least tune in, say hello or something, and then you can go home. But generally, it's something that is very interesting, Dave. So you definitely want to do that. So spread that to all your friends. Make sure you go to On the Spot with David Rodgers, search Facebook, because Facebook is our main page. Go to the middle of the page, or sort of toward the middle, hit the like button, boom, you are now a viewing fan. Now, if there's anything that you want to talk about, let's say there's some breaking news that we don't know about, David, is somewhere else. Let's say if there's something that you want to talk about. David, I'd like for you to talk about this. Byron, I'd like for you to talk about this. Talk about that or whatever. There's a great way to do it. And if you look at the bottom right there, On the Spot 32091 at gmail.com is where you can send all your emails, anything that you want to talk about. You can be anonymous. Hey, you don't even have to put your name to it, right, David? No. Let's say if you want to talk about marriage or the law enforcement or whatever that may be. Hey, just hit us up right there. Boom. We'll take it. We'll research everything, and we'll bring that topic to you. How about that, Dave? And you can hear it right here on the Spot on Tuesday nights, right at 7 o'clock as we come on. That's, again, On the Spot 32091 at gmail.com. That's not all. That's not all, Dave. Because right here, my producer and director, Dave Holland, he is all over Facebook. Hey, you can message Dave Holland. You can catch him on Facebook. You can also catch him on Messenger. Dave, do you have an email that you want to put out, or would you rather not do that? Do you have an email that somebody...
Right now, just use the On the Spot.
Okay.
22091.
All right. I'm going to go a step further. You can contact me as well at david.rodgers. Make sure you put a D in it. 1352 at yahoo.com. That's david.rodgers 1352 at yahoo.com. And David, that's not all. You can catch me at david.rodgers 1532 at gmail.com. So there's all kinds of ways. Yeah, david.rodgers 1352 at yahoo.com. Yahoo Mail or whatever. Yeah, that's it. And then david.rodgers 1532 at gmail.com. So you can catch us that way. Most of you know my cell number, 904-966-1633. You can message me there. Just send me a regular text message. And again, you can catch me on Facebook or Messenger. So we're trying to get the word out to everybody. We have a great product. We think we have a great product. And right along with our sister company now, On the Spot Motorsports Media with Mitchell Gunner, as he takes over that page there as well. Excuse me, it's growing and getting bigger. So we want you to tune in, excuse me, there as well. This weekend, we actually went, David, On the Spot. If you haven't seen it, go to On the Spot and check it out. We went over to a wrestling match for LCCW, didn't we, David?
Yes.
We went over there. David live streamed the show, did a wonderful job live streaming that show. I got involved in the first of the show and the last of the show. Roger Cruz was out there. He got involved as well. It was a great time had by all. So again, that's one of those other things that you may say, hey, they're not doing anything on a Saturday. Well, David, we may not promote it because we're not sure if we're going to be there or not. But all of a sudden we're there, boom, you can tune in. There it is, right there. So, you can tune in and check out that show as well. So, that was LCCW Wrestling. Unfortunately, Dave, there's some bad news to that. I guess that will be one of my last wrestling shows for a while because they actually had to shut the doors down, and I really feel really bad. We had a real solemn moment back there in the back, didn't we?
Yes,
in the locker room, you could see the distraught on the wrestlers' faces, and I hope they can get everything back together where they can run another show, David, eventually. But that would definitely sad moment for those guys. But we had fun, and look, there'll be other things coming as well. So we did that. What else did we do, David? Well, we're doing the show right now.
Doing the show right now.
Absolutely.
We did take a break and go to Corky Bell's and had some.
Oh, David, did we? Oh, my God. How many of you guys on here have ever been eating at Corky Bell's in Palatka?
Oh, man.
So we got done with the show. It ran a little bit long. We got there, what, Dave, 9:30?
About that, yeah.
About
They
9:30?
closed at 10.
They closed at 10. My gosh, man. Those scallops were good, wasn't they?
They were good the next day, too.
Were they good the next day?
Yeah.
I had the shrimp boiled and fried, the crunchy coleslaw. My God, that was good. Man, me and you tore that up. Hush puppy, man, it was good. So that's why I really like going over there, because me, Dave, and Roger, and Byron, and whoever else goes, we know we're going to eat at Corky Bell's. So Corky Bell's over in Palatka for sure. Let's see here. Jessica Green. Thank you very much, Jessica, for that. I really appreciate it. She said, happy birthday, David. I really appreciate that. Wanda Norman, happy birthday to you on your special day, David. Woo! Thank you, Wanda Norman. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Would love for Byron to discuss gun control as it has worked in communist countries. Yeah. And we talked about that a little bit, Shirley, and we was going to go into that a little bit. But how about what's going on in the state of Florida with gun control? Hey, don't have to have a, David, don't have to have a concealed weapon, concealed license anymore.
Open carry?
Open carry, sort of, yep. Now, here's the only thing with that. I would still keep my concealed. You better keep your concealed, Byron. Whoever's got one, better keep their concealed, because there is stipulations to that. So
If
what's
it's concealed,
So-
you have to have a license.
Yes. So you cannot carry it, even if you cannot carry it in your waistband. You cannot tuck it in your back. Anything. It has to be in a holster. So it
on
has
your
to
hip
be.
or under your
It could be a shoulder strap,
Yep.
or it could be the hip.
Wow.
But it has to be seen. And you won't be able to carry it in the post office. You won't be able to carry it in any government offices. And that usually with concealed, that's the rule as well. I mean, you're going to get checked when you go to the courthouse. Hey, you got anything on you? Oh yeah, here's my weapon right here. So you don't do that. You got to use some common sense there.
common sense.
Common sense with that. So Shirley said, let me see here. They have really good food, Melissa Cripps says. Absolutely, Melissa. Yeah, they do. There ain't no doubt. Me and Dave's going to go back. Wanda Norman says, love it. She's been there. Is it open carry or just, and she didn't finish it. It's going to be open carry, really, is what it's going to wind up being, because it's going to have to be seen. If you don't have a concealed license, weapons license, you have to show it, right?
Yeah.
You have to show. I mean, it'd be like the state of Texas. Right now, state of Texas has got open carry.
Right. So if you got a gun, open carry in your holster,
Yeah.
and your shirt just happens to lay over top of that and hides that gun,
Right.
you have to have a permit for that.
That is correct. So yeah,
Okay.
that's why I think they're saying, hey man, make sure it's in a holster, shoulder strap, somewhere it can be seen.
Yeah.
That's what open carry is about. It needs to be seen. Concealed?
No.
No.
So if you got a concealed weapons permit, it doesn't matter either way whether they see it under the shirt or not. You're
Right.
okay.
You're okay. That's right.
Very good.
Yeah. So I like that they're changing the law. I did not know. I was talking to David Rodgers, one of my great friends in Mississippi that usually tunes in. By the way, hello, David. How are you? I hope you're tuning in. But the state of Mississippi has been doing that. I didn't know that from the state I was from. He said, David, we've been doing that. So they've got open carry there. We knew Texas did. There's several other states that's got, and maybe weekend next week we'll talk about that a little bit when Byron gets back. We'll pull up some of the states that's got open carry. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't know if y'all, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all seen over the weekend. Excuse me, man, my God, the pollen.
Yeah.
But anyway, did you see how many shootings there was over the weekend?
I
Several.
saw Louisville.
There was one in Illinois. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Must have had some cake. No, I didn't because Shirley hadn't brought it. But
There was one in Illinois.
Yep, there was one in California. There was 4, 5, I think 5 or 6 over the long weekend, over the Easter weekend.
Now, these shootings has been going on for a while.
Yes, they have.
And there's a statistic on shootings now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The statistic that I'm familiar with is every 13 days there's going to be a shooting.
Yep, that's what they've come up with.
This shooting that just happened was on the 13th day after the last shooting.
See, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Isn't that, see, so the people, when we talked about this, and I'm glad you mentioned that, yeah, once every 13 days, there's some kind of mass shooting of some sort.
Yeah.
Shirley said, I think Tennessee is open carry as well. I'm not sure of that. Maybe we can check that out. But
Yeah,
so we'll definitely check that out. But yeah, it's gotten really out of hand, David. And I'll tell you, you know, these schools, and we've talked about this many a times. These schools, these churches, movie theaters, clubs. You hear about it all the time, and anybody that does that, David, is pure evil. We know that. Everybody here that's watching this show knows that. That's just pure evil. If you're going to go in there and shoot up a school with a bunch of kids in it that's unarmed, knowing that you've got that automatic weapon or whatever weapon it is, and just going in there to shoot up people because you can, or because you hate something, or because you didn't like this teacher, or you didn't like that principal, so you take it out on everybody, that is wrong. That is pure evil. Now, I don't condone any of it, but why don't the people that do this go after the person they're mad with? If you're mad with the principal, David, just go into the principal's office and shoot him. Not that I'm condoning this. Now, I'm just saying, keep the kids, keep everybody else out of this. This is just pure nonsense, and it's gotten way too hectic. It's gotten way too prevalent. One shooting every 13 days, and it's really happening more than that, to be honest with you. It's happening a lot sooner than that. We got to figure out a way to be able to keep that. But, David, you know, you can't watch everybody. You know, that's the problem. You know, I know most of these people put it on Facebook and social media because they want their 15 minutes of fame. But we got to start, when you see that kind of stuff, you got to start alerting the authorities right away. Because if you're not alerting the authorities right away, they're going to usually carry that out, and then it's going to be too late. Now you're coming after a mass shooting instead of before or during. Let's get these people off the streets, man. I don't care if they said that they're going to put a firecracker up underneath the school door. Hey, you're a target now, man. Hey, explosive device. You need to be questioned and detained until the authorities say that either you can go or you're going to be facing charges. One of the two. Somehow or another, we're not being proactive. We're being reactive. And when you're reactive, David, you know what happens? You're coming in after the thing has happened. The shooting. Proactive, we can catch them, right?
Yeah.
or at least we can try. Reactive, you're reacting after something major has happened, and that's not the way that we
But
we
these
wanna be.
officers are getting the hang of it and going in
Yeah.
really quick.
Yeah, and I'm glad that these officers, we talked a little bit about this, and I know Shirley chimed in on this when we was up here a couple of weeks ago. Some of our teachers, and I don't know who they are, some of our teachers go through courses, and they carry concealed in case something like that happens. I don't know if they get paid any extra for that. I'm not aware of that, but I think they should. I think if you are taking the classes and you get your concealed and you're allowed to, you take all the protocols that you can carry at school, I think you ought to get a little more money for that, because you're going to be the front line of all those people when somebody comes in there with an assault rifle or assault weapon and start shooting up a school or start shooting up anywhere, mainly a school. And again, you just got to be pure evil to do that. We got to figure out a way, again, to get together, come together, and figure out how we stop this, man. It's just, it's absolutely
I don't know
nuts.
how. I mean, people plan it, and you don't know when they're going to
Nope.
perform it. I don't know.
Some people are crazy and, and again, put it on social media.
Well, that's the only way.
That's the only way that you're going to catch them, because if somebody is in their bedroom and their mom and dad is not coming to check in on them, or whoever is not coming to check in on them, and they've got all these plans, they've got all these things laid out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if it's open, yeah, you better say something. But they close it up, man. You don't know who's doing what. You don't know who's playing anything right now.
Until a friend or a family member or somebody just walking by
Right.
hears something.
Right. Yeah, they just say something. You heard Jerry Feltner, Chief of Police in Lottie. You've heard our own very own Sheriff Gordon Smith. You've heard Pumpkin say, hey, if you hear something, say something. Stop being a snitch, man. Hey, and even if people think it is, well, you're still doing the right thing, because you could have prevented something. You know what I mean? If you say something, you just never know what
Save
you're going to prevent.
lives.
Save lives. It could be your very own.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how these things happen. People are going about their daily lives and their daily routine and their daily business, and then all of a sudden you hear, bah, 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 bah.
So
It's too late.
That school shooting has 3 adults and 3 children. And those
Yeah.
children, those adorable children.
That's what I'm saying. What have the children done to them?
Nothing.
Nothing. I want to go on to another little thing. Some guy asked me today. Go ahead, David, and then we'll close this up.
Tennessee is open carry.
All right, Shirley. Tennessee is open carry.
Yep.
So there you go. Dave looked that up, so just to let you know. All right, we're going to move on to another subject. Somebody asked me, and the reason I'm going to do it, and me and Byron has done this before. Matter of fact, we did it at least 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when we was over at Heater's studio, when we was over at another studio. We talked about debt in this country and things like that. David's got something scrolling here in just a few minutes. I'm going to give you a number, and you tell me what it is. 31 trillion, 457,000, or 457 billion, 47,880,773 That blue number right there, that number in the blue there in white, what number is that? What is that number? Good evening, my brother. How's it going, Byron? Happy birthday to you as well. What is that number? Give some people a chance. That's the national debt as of today, April 11th, 2023. 31 trillion, 457 billion, 47,880,773 Me and Byron did a show. David, you remember this. Shirley remembers this. Dwight may remember this. We did a show 2 years ago, at least 2 years ago, when we talked about the national debt. And I forgot what it was at that time. It was like 23 trillion or something like that.
Couple
2 years
ago?
Yes. Do you see how much it increased? It increased by almost $9 billion or trillion dollars.
Yeah.
How much the Biden crime family has made selling out America? A bunch. For sure, Dwight. No doubt about it. They made millions and millions off of it. But I wanted to get here because I remember Byron, and me and Byron specifically, said it a couple of times. Do you know what it was for every single person in America to pay off that debt? Do you remember what we said? It was like $64,000, right?
Right.
Per person 2 years ago. Now, Byron, listen to this. Shirley, listen to this. Dwight, listen to this. Now, it is $94,210 for every single person in America to pay that national debt back. And it increased by millions by the time you aired the numbers. Yeah, how about that? That's exactly right. And Byron brings up a good point. David,
Yeah.
do you know that's a rolling number? So the site that I looked that up on, it was a national debt. It rolls. So that when we put that number together, I just grabbed the number then. But it was scrolling and rolling. It can increase by dollars. It can increase by thousands. It can increase by millions. It can increase by billions. Yeah, Byron is right. That number just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. My goodness, what in the heck are we doing? So, that is an average, $94,210 for every single person in America. When me and Byron did the show, and Mitchell and Dave and whoever was involved, that number has increased by $30,000 per person in the last 2 years. America's growing debt is a result of simple math. Right, Byron? You correct me if I'm wrong here. There is a mismatch between spending and revenues. Of course, it's simple math. It's elementary math. Come on. Anybody can figure this out. There's a mismatch between spending and revenues. This is simple math, ladies and gentlemen. When the federal government spends more than it takes in, we have to borrow money to cover that annual deficit. Every year, that deficit adds to the growing national debt. Wow. How about that, huh? So, guess what? The last several years, that means we have been spending more than we're taking in. I've got a question for you guys. David, we've talked about, me and Byron and all of us on the Spot crew has talked about China and about what we owe them. Byron, Dwight, Shirley, anybody that's watching, Melissa, it's not as much as I thought it was by percentages. Now, they own land, yes. Do you know they own 20% of all the land in this country? That's a fifth of the land in this great country, the United States of America. Are you kidding me? How did we, or do we, let that happen? And it's not we, it's our government, because our government is supposed to be working for us, right? We don't work for them, they work for us. Let's see. Byron said, let the politicians pay it. I agree, Byron. Dwight Allen said, we need to stop giving business to foreign countries that hate us. Absolutely, B. And D, I agree with you. Debt in 2006, David, or 2000?
2000.
All right, David looked up the debt in 2000, so that's 23 years ago. It was $5.6 trillion. Still in the trillions. And now we're at 31 trillion and growing.
20 years later.
23 years later.
Wow.
Amazing. How does that happen? Because, again, let me give you the simple math. Because there's a mismatch between spending and revenues. So, sorry, somebody trying to call me. But anyway, there's a mismatch there. And there has been for the last several years. Now, I'm going to say this, and it's I don't know who's watching, but I will assure you, when President Trump was in presidency, President Trump was knocking that down to some extent. It's going to take years and years and years. I'm never going to see it in my lifetime when all this is paid, David. You know what I mean? You're not going to see it in your lifetime. But at least he was trying to make at least a cut into that, and he was doing a good job. Employment was up. Spending was up from the consumers. There was jobs aplenty when he was in. Yeah, there were some people that don't like him because he's unorthodox. But I'll tell you, he had this government running, this country running like a well-oiled machine. And we need somebody like that back again. In 1980, what was it? $914 billion. So in 20 years, it went from the billions to the trillions. So simple math.
So that 20 years, it only raised $5 trillion.
Correct.
From 2000 till now, it's went up.
What'd you say? 26 trillion. 26 trillion. Now, you see the number. You see how many zeros that is. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money that we can be putting in to our something else, education, medical for this country, senior citizens, to our veterans, whatever cause it may be. Shirley says it's only going to get worse. Absolutely. Yeah. No foreign country should be allowed to own land in our country. Dwight Allen, I fully agree.
I agree.
I agree with that. If you want to come over here and be a productive U.S. citizen, I don't care. Byron has told you many times, he doesn't care. Do it the right way. You know what I mean? If you want to come over here and be productive in the United States. But just letting countries just come over here, oh yeah, we'll sell you all this land here. We need the money, man, so hey, we'll give it to you for this. We'll give it to you for that. That's why China owns 20% of all the landscape in this country. Do you know how much beef they own? 33% of the beef in this country is owned by China. We, ladies and gentlemen, as I sit here on my birthday and tell you, I don't want to run for president. I don't want to be vice president. I don't want to be secretary of state. I don't even want to be the superintendent of schools here. I'm telling you, because me and Byron and we all talk about this, we've got to get our head out of our asses and start putting people in and getting people out that's working against us. I'm just a regular citizen, David, sitting here on a podcast with you and with my brother Byron and Mitchell when he sits in and whoever else. We're just a podcast, a simple person. We can get this ball rolling, but we need everybody's help. And we can do this, David, peacefully. You know we can.
Yes.
We can do this without a civil war accord. You know, everybody says there's going to be a civil war. And if there is a civil war, it's going to be between political parties. It's not going to be a black and white civil war. This is going to be a political divide between the left and the right. That's the way that civil war is going to be fought. But we can do this the right way. Byron has told you many times how we can go about doing this. And he makes sense. And he's right. But I tell you right now, as I sit here today, this country's going to hell in a handbasket. And it's going, as Shirley says, very quickly. Right now, we are in a recession. I can say that. And if we keep going and we allow this thing to go, we're going to be in a depression like in 1929, except David, because the dollars are more, there's more people. It's going to be 100 times worse than it was back then. Let me see what he says. Dwight says, crooked politicians need to be held accountable. Yes, Dwight. I'd like to see the people Well, let's call her out like it is. Hillary Clinton, what happened to her with Benghazi? Why has she been punished? Hey, what about President Biden leaving all that equipment and all that stuff? And I want to get a number on that, David, if you could. Find out a number for me on how much stuff that we left over in Afghanistan here on this last little debacle. That's more money lost. What about the Bidens, Obama, all these people that have been getting kickbacks from other countries, i.e., Russia, Ukraine, anybody that you can name that they've taken kickbacks from? Where are these people being punished? But you want to call Donald Trump out on certain charges, and we already know why that is, because they don't want him to run. They want nothing to do with him. If you run your business like the government, you would be in prison. Dwight Allen's got a great point, doesn't he? Yeah, absolutely, brother. Hey, they'd have come got you, Dwight, I assure you, and they'd have come got you from your house. It shouldn't have been raised at all. We can't do that with our own finances. They shouldn't be allowed to do that to our country's finances. Absolutely, I agree. We need to be very concerned about China and North Korea. Yeah. Byron, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. I heard a little thing here. Russia, China, North Korea, the Middle East has got a collusion. I can't think what they called it. But anyway, hey, man, they're waiting for us, man, to just implode from the inside. And what I mean is, amongst ourselves, we're our own worst enemies. You know that? It's not them right now. Yeah, they threaten nuclear war, this, and that. Byron told you why there wouldn't be a nuclear war. First of all, they would just they would destroy all the resources that they need and want to be able to survive. Plus, we're gonna send something over there. That place is gonna get scrapped up. It'll be just a war to end really what the world is right now. So that was right here.
Yeah. 7 million in military was left behind in
So
Afghanistan.
in jets and things like that, or that number seems a little low, David, but I'll say it. Okay. 7 trillion?
Billion.
7 billion. So here we go. The little debacle in Afghanistan, Byron, Dwight, Shirley, Wanda, anybody that's watching, cost us $7 billion. We left $7 billion of military equipment, military artillery, military aircraft in a country that is a terroristic country that's going to turn around and use those, David, those same weapons on us or our allies.
Yep.
How in the hell do we do that? That is absolutely floorboards me. But nobody's held accountable. Nobody's held accountable for that. Oh, we can just stay. We'll just brush that off. It's not a worry. Let's add it to the deficit. Let's add it to the national deficit, Dave. Can we do that? We can do that, can't we? Let's just, hey, don't worry about it. Somebody else will pick up the tab. So, let's see. Shirley says, Korea, North Korea. Yeah, we will implode if we don't change soon. Absolutely, we will. Dwight Allen said, yep. And Byron brought up a good point. Hey, we were just talking military assets. How about the many lives that we lost over there? That was for nothing. For absolute nothing. We lost lives over there because of that. But nobody's being held accountable for that.
Yeah, we've spent 18.6 billion since 2005 in Afghanistan.
$18.6 billion. Now, I will say, I don't know Byron and Dwight will agree, and Shirley. I will say some of that money was worth doing that. We needed to put a stop to terrorism, especially Osama bin Laden and his crew. We needed to do that.
Right, but there's still 7 billion that is still there.
Absolutely.
And it's in control of the enemy that we've been fighting.
Yeah, and the terroristic cells and groups over there. That's who's got that. And I assure you, David, as you said, they're going to turn around and use that on us.
Absolutely.
We have got to wake up, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I'm not a politician. I don't care to know everything. But I do know one thing. This is all common sense, which some of our government officials don't have any of. This is black and white. And again, if you're hearing me and don't agree with some of the things that I've said, I'm just saying I see it from my eyes. And I love each and every American that is here today. I don't have a beef with anybody. Again, me and Byron and Dave and Mitchell have said, we don't care if you're black, white, green, blue, orange. I don't care if you lean to the left or to the right. I don't care about your religion. I don't care about your gender. This is a bigger problem than that. But do you see the problems that we're fighting right now? We're fighting transgender problems. We're fighting social media problems. We're fighting racial problems. When we should be fighting to keep this great country alive today. And those things we can carry and do and take care of ourselves. Yeah. After we get this country back running like it is. But you know what's happening? We're putting all those things in one pot. So, you know, we owe China big time. Yep, okay, I get it. You know, we owe these countries big time. But we also are not fighting that problem. We're fighting other stuff. To me, it's relevant, yes, but not that relevant. That's just me saying. My partner in crime may not agree with that. David, do you agree to a certain extent?
Yes.
I mean, you know, look, we have got to put our racial issues back for now. We have got to put our sexual issues back for now. Religion, the creed, anything that you can think of. We got to put aside right now because us as Americans, and you live in this great country, you're going to see the demise and the fall of this great country if we don't, and I'm talking about our government, because I believe most people, I believe that there's still good people.
Yeah.
I believe that I think that there's more good than there is evil. And we've got to get these people out of there that's for themselves, that's for lacing their own pockets, not caring about me or you or where we live, and you know, just not caring about the human being that put them in office.
Yeah.
It's just gotten out of hand, man. And I tell you, it's coming soon, man. Jobs are starting to, I know there's people who are still hiring, but jobs are going to be scarce. You see the prices of everything through the roof.
The sad part is jobs is one thing, but people not wanting to work in this country.
You know what people say about us in other countries? You know what they say about us?
I can only guess.
Okay, go ahead and take a stab.
We're lazy.
Hey!
We're
cuddled.
cuddled.
Let me prove it to you. Can I prove it to you?
Prove it to
All right.
me.
I'm going to prove it to you. Y'all will agree. When the power goes out because of a storm,
Yeah.
and you don't have a generator or you don't have power, what are we whining about? If it's the summertime, man, I wish I had my air conditioner. My God, man, I'm sweating up a storm over here. I wish the electrical company would hurry up and do their thing. And then you're calling them 15 times a day. Hey, when's power going? We're spoiled. Lazy to an extent, but in a roundabout way. They think we got it soft. We're soft compared to them. And they're right in a way. They're right. I mean, like I said, I'll be the first one to admit it. Man, hey, man, when my power's out, man, I'm sort of itchy, and hey, man, I need to get my power back on. We rely on those things.
Well, we
rely on this now more than about anything.
Yes.
This thing right here has been the death of the damn world. I understand it, for emergencies, I get it. But see, everything else, this is a mini computer. This is a mini government computer.
Right now it is.
Yep. And I proved it to you before. I was talking about I need to get a new mower because one of mine is starting to go. A new mower. I was just talking about it to one of my friends today at work. Guess what, Byron? Guess what, Shirley? Guess what, Dwight? Guess what, Melissa? 50 ads popped up on Facebook. Oh, you can get a Gravely. Oh, you can get a Bad Boy. Oh, you can...
They know what you're thinking.
They know what you're thinking, bro. They know what you're doing.
That algorithm on your life story.
Yes. So don't think they don't know what you're doing, because they do. Let's see here. Shirley Bagwell says, our military knows that is not what we do. They are trained to destroy instead of leaving military equipment. Yeah. Melissa Cribb says, amen to all that we've been saying. Our government has the mainstream media spreading propaganda, causing division and distracting us from what our government is doing. Dwight Allen, very well said. That's exactly right. Yeah. Byron says, hey, what did we just say? The enemy within. Who is that? Our government and ourselves, if we keep fighting amongst each other and not getting to the root of the problem unless getting this fixed.
Exactly.
And like I said, I'm not a politician. I don't want to run for president. I don't want to run for vice president. I don't want to be secretary of state. I don't want to be nothing. I want to be a productive citizen.
Yes.
Right, Dave? I want to be a productive citizen that will tell you what we see from this end. And I'm talking mainly to our government, but I'm talking to the people of this country, of this great country, wherever you're watching, whether it's here, whether I don't care where it's at, that we need to wake up, man, and start working together. Because if we don't work together, we're going to be a big divide, and there's going to be a civil war of some sort. I don't know what Byron thinks about it, if it's going to be coming or not. But if we don't start narrowing this gap, it will. And David, like I said, it's not going to be a black and white thing. It's going to be a political thing.
It's going to be political.
Yeah, it's going to be political, because that's the way, as Dwight said, that's the way the mainstream media has. Well,
you got the government
with the propaganda.
And
he
then
said,
you got the people.
Yeah, right. And they're trying to throw trash in between both of us, and that's right there is going to cause a big, big divide. Let's see. Byron said. Byron, can I say this though, brother? I know you're going to hate me for saying it. Byron says, I want no part of being a politician. Maybe so, but I will say this. Me and Dave, we've all talked about it. I think you're smart enough to do it. I think you've got the knowledge.
I think
you've got the heart. I think you've got the brain.
Yeah.
I think you've got the drive, because you would have people like us backing you that believe in the same things that you do. And I think with you, at least it could be a start. I ain't saying you can fix everything. You may not be able to fix anything. But at least your voice will be heard. And I can assure you, as passionate as you are about things that we talk about, not just this subject, but any subject, and I see tears in your eyes, and you've never served in the military. I know your dad has, but you've never served in the military, but you love this great country. Dwight loves this great country. Everybody that watches this show loves this great country. I know that you would do good. I could assure you. I'm not saying you can fix anything or everything, but at least you would be up there, and I know where your heart and your mind and your soul would be.
Well, our founding fathers started out with an idea, and we got people in this country today that has the good idea to move into political office and change things.
Mm-hmm.
We just need them to do that.
See, and you brought up a great point. Let me read what Byron said. Byron said, enforce our original Constitution. Amen.
Bam!
Bam! Hit it right on the head. A statesman, maybe, he said. All right, I want to get back to what you were saying, and this all ties in. So, we get these people, and this is where I know Byron's heart would be. You do know that people can be bought. You put a person in there that you think has the right intentions or that is best suited for you.
Right.
They get up there and they don't have a pot to pee in, i.e., AOC. She was a bartender. I'm not saying she at least worked. She was working or whatever. Great idea to make her run, to be a congresswoman. I forgot what she had, $20,000 in her bank account or whatever when this started. Now, Dwight said it a few shows ago, she's worth $20 million or more now. How does that happen? Because you get bought off. You're in things that you shouldn't be. You're not working for the people. You're working to lace your pockets.
Right.
And that's what I hate. Byron would not be that way.
No.
Byron would not take a red single cent from anybody. By the way, if he did, Byron would tell him about the tail. Hey, what are you doing? I'm here to make America great again. I know that's Donald Trump's slogan.
That's okay.
But that's okay. It is what it is. But Byron would tell them, hey, we're not here for that. We're here for the people. And I can assure you, if Byron was the representative of this district or Dwight Allen or whatever, you would hear from those guys. Not that we don't hear from Cat Cabinet, because we do. But Byron would not only take care of national issues, he'd take care of issues here in his own district. He would work all that. So, let's see what he says. Barf, he said. AOC. Dwight Allen says, good night, everyone. God bless America. Good night, Dwight. I hope we entertained you tonight and that what we talked about here has lit somebody's tail up, because we've got to move forward and do something. I would be there to make America great again. Just what we said. That's what Byron said. Hey, Judith, how are you? You've missed a great show so far. We've talked about the national deficit. We're talking about our politicians, and we've talked about several things. But anyway, I've got one more thing before I go, and it's in the same realm here. David?
Yes, sir.
Do you know which country owes us the most money?
Oh.
Wow, interesting question. I bet Byron does. And anybody out here listening, do you know which world country owes us the most money?
It's not the country that you're probably thinking of.
No. I'll tell you this. It's not Mexico. You know it's not China.
No.
So, Byron, do you have a guess? Shirley?
Right on my tongue.
Japan.
Oh, Japan?
Japan owes us the most money out of any country in the world today.
So we're rebuilding them.
And that's exactly right. But I mean, again, national debt. Why aren't we collecting?
Right.
We need some of this money to knock down this national debt. But as soon as we get it, we're spending on something else. So does that debt really get knocked down?
No.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. You may put a little skingy of a dent in it. Byron, Shirley said Japan. Byron said Germany. Shirley's right. It's Japan. They owe us $2.8 trillion. Where is it? It's not in any of our banks here in the U.S. It's not in any of our deposits here in the U.S. Wow. Where is it? It's still over there. Why? Because we don't go collect it.
Wow.
It's just absolutely befuddles me. And like I said, we keep spending. Do you know what attributes to the national deficit? So, several things do. First of all is demographics. You know us, we're the baby boomers, right? Do you know there is more baby boomers that's going to retire between now and 2029 than there is any other of the Generation X, whatever. Yeah. 10,000, what they say, I think it's, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's 10,000 people a day in the baby boomer age that's going to be retiring between now and 2029. Hey,
The way that they're spending Social Security.
they're going to start robbing Social Security to help pay for this other garbage or whatever they want to do. Shoot, who knows if they're lacing their pockets with it? I don't know. I just hope here in the next 5 years for me that there's going to be Social Security. I hope there's going to be Social Security for you. You're a little closer than I am, even though I rode with the Pony Express. They told me, but anyway, let me see. So, yeah, that was the last thing said. But anyway, you know, Dave, I don't know, man. And the last thing I'll say here, and we'll talk some more about this next week. I hope Byron will come in on this subject. Byron's really good on this kind of stuff. But look, America, I'm speaking directly to you guys. Again, I'm no politician. I'm nobody. I'm just an old 61-year-old guy that turned 61 today, that loves this country, that has served this country, that loves all people. I don't care what you are, what nationality, what race, what religion, what you want to be. That's you. You have to answer, David, to your God for that, whoever that is. That's not for me to decide. Judge not unless you want to be judged. And that's out of, I believe, Exodus or Acts. I can't remember. But anyway, right off. But I don't, I don't want to be judged, so I don't want to judge anyone else. I try to look at things from both sides when there's conflict or when there's disagreement. That ain't saying I'm going to agree with everything that you say or have said. Byron's the same way. Dave's the same way. People, we're people. But the common unity in all this, David, is got to be our country. And excel in our country and bringing it back to be the most powerful nation, the most freest, the most what? Fear, too. Yeah. We don't show fear to anybody. We're cowering down and bowing down to people. Are you kidding me? President Ronald Reagan's rolling in his grave right now. Donald Trump wants to run again because he's tired of seeing it. We got a great governor in this state of Florida that don't like any of this. None of us like this that can see past all the propaganda jabroni stuff. You know what I mean? I'm sorry I had to use that word. Wrestling word, Dave. Yeah. So I'm just preaching to the American people right now. Let's stand up. Let's fight against this stuff that is going on. Let's put the right politicians in the right place. Punish the ones that have done wrong, because I assure you, if you've done something wrong in this great country, the law is going to take care of you. So why should anybody be higher than us? You know what I'm saying? Nobody is above the law. Steven Seagal movie, by the way. Nobody is above the law. And we, as people, should make sure that they pay for what they've done. I just named you a couple of things tonight off the top of my head. But, we just need to wake up, America. We need to spread the word. And hopefully we can join in unity without any kind of violence or any kind of riots or any kind of thing like that, and say what we mean. And make it known to these people that we're not going to stand for this anymore. I assure you, Dave, if we, me, you, Byron, just this little show right here, keep pressing that, another show will pick it up, another show will pick it up, and pretty soon the word is starting to get out there. And maybe somebody that's got a little bit more brains than I do, a little more smartness than I do, will bring all this together and say, hey, let's do this thing, man. And like I said, it can be done peacefully. Byron says, put it back in a lockbox and it will take care of itself. Yep, you're right, Byron. All right. Hey, great show tonight. We're going to go to the weather real quick. Let's take a look at the weather. Here's the 4-day forecast.
Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find Austin's Weather Service on Facebook and have a detailed local forecast sent right to you.
All right, here's the 4-day forecast. Let's start with the allergy. Oak, juniper, and bayberry, Byron, and everybody else that's got sinuses like myself. Tuesday, today, it was 9.6. Wednesday, tomorrow, Byron, is going to be a 10. Thursday is going to be a 7.7. Friday is going to be a 7.2. And then Saturday is going to be highest day of the week with that at 10.4. So, Byron, we need to get up on our meds. We need to start taking our allergy medicine. That is very high, David.
Yeah.
That is some of the highest numbers that I have seen. I know we're in April. April showers bring May flowers, and all this stuff starts coming to fruition, and that's why we all are getting sick, and mainly sinus infections and things like that. So watch out for the allergies. All right, here's our 4-day forecast for the region. Wednesday, 10% chance of rain, high of 78, low of 65. Thursday, our biggest chance of rain, 90% on Thursday, high of 77, low of 63. Then we've got a clearing on Friday, even though there's still a 40% chance of rain. We're going to get up to 81 with a low of 60. And then Saturday, as Dave said, is probably going to be the best day out of the four. Saturday, 10% chance of rain, high of 86, low of 62. So that's your OTS 4-day forecast, and you can catch that if you go back and watch the show. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, or if you missed any of it, you will see again that weather forecast. Austin Stevens will be putting this on YouTube starting tonight, and it should air for you on YouTube at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night. Again, David, what a wonderful show. I want to wish Byron Bagwell, Dwight Allen, and myself, Mitchell Gunner, Shelly Rogers, and some others has got April. Anybody's got an April birthday, happy birthday to you early or late or whatever it may be. I want to wish, like I said, everybody a happy birthday. David, thank you for that. Thank you for all the birthday wishes from each and every one of you. Don't forget Wednesday night, trivia over at the Fun Point. If you want to go over there, Mr. Jerry Feltner is going to be taking that over. And then on Thursday night, David, I want you and everybody to come so we can celebrate some birthdays and have fun at trivia at the Downtown Grill starting at 7:30 on Thursday night. Be there, be square, be ready to go. Don't forget the things that I talked about here as far as the schools and things like that go. Any local events or anything like that coming up, go check out the Chamber of Commerce website. Pam Whittle and those guys do a great job bringing those events to you. So anything that's going on in the Bradford County and the surrounding region, you can check that out as well. On behalf of the Mr. Mitchell, Mitchell Gunner will be having a show on the Spot Motorsports Media Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Special guest is, I can't think of his last name, Rich something, but he's the one that does the Racing in Christ thing. So that ought to be really good as he's going to talk about racing and probably saying a couple of things about the Word. So make sure you join Mitchell Gunner at 7 o'clock on Thursday night. So on behalf of the missing Austin Stevens, the missing Byron Bagwell, even though he chimed in with us, our producer and the Dancing Destroyer himself, Dave Holland, one of the best beauticians around. I can assure you that. Look at this. Lays back perfect. And myself, your creator and host, David Rodgers. God bless you. Okay, yes, Melissa, thank you. We appreciate it. Hey, we were just saying what we thought from the heart. So thank you for that. Great. She said great. Happy birthday. Good job on the show tonight.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you very much. We're just stating the truth. That's all. Hey, a lot of this, Dave, is just common sense. Common sense, and we got to get back to it. Like I said, on behalf of the whole crew and the whole staff, God bless you guys. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. If you're doing anything over the weekend, please be safe and be careful. Again, think about your fellow American. Think about your fellow man and woman, and do the right things. Let's get this country heading back and propelled back into the straight and narrow like we should be, and we, as people, can make this country great, powerful, and wonderful nation as it used to be. And we will be that feared nation again if we can all work together and take care of this problem. God bless you guys. Have a great night. Have a great week. See you next Tuesday night. Thank you.